And good afternoon, welcome to Flory Models Live. Here we are at 3 o'clock on the 27th of March 2020. And we've got the dynamic trio with us today. Just about. Sorry we're a few minutes late, we were still setting up the cameras and things like that. Why have we suddenly dropped? The viewing count just halved for some reason. I think probably everyone's thought we're late and refreshed. Hopefully everyone will come back. Hello everyone, thank you very much to everybody who's in YouTube live land as well. 5 likes already. Do you know we had 135 likes?
So you got over 100?
Yeah, it's the first time I've had over 100 likes. So thank you very much for everyone liking the video. It's good for the old mojo, I tell you. It's very good that. So that was very happy with all of that. So good afternoon to everybody. I've also, after having a few sharp words with the devs, I am now on the actual normal chat as well. So we're down in there as well. So good afternoon to all the Flory family who are all down in there. Loads of you as always. Slightly different format to everything. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let me turn that off, mute that. Slightly different format to everything we normally do. So we'll be doing, obviously, keeping up with our coronavirus builds. And doing that this afternoon, and also be having a look around the site, looking around the store. We're going to be having a look at your great work in the gallery video at the end of the show as well, so hang around for that, because again, that's a monster this week. You can tell you're all off work because I think there's about 38 photos on the end of that one, because it is an absolute fantastic one. So yes, we trust everyone's well. How are you this afternoon, Nathan?
Good afternoon, yeah, well, all fit and healthy.
Yes, good. Not unlike Boris.
Or the health minister.
Or the health minister. It's always worrying when the health minister gets struck down.
It's a bit, isn't it? Slightly ironic, isn't it?
Sound is low. Well, sound is low. We've had this before. Turn your sound up.
Yeah.
There you go. It had the volume down. We get this. People say you're very quiet, and I've just turned the sound up. Then surely that works. Look, we don't touch anything. When it's working, we just leave it. It's like, I don't even know how it all works to me. It's all, mystery. It's a mystery. Anyway, Matt, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yes, good afternoon.
Good. We're all sorted. Sound is good here. Everyone seems good. No problem at all. So what we do, we're split between everything. Oh my God. Right. Hello to everybody in YouTube land. It's like, boof.
Yeah.
So yes. Hello. Yes, we're all fine. It's 11:03 in the USA currently. Afternoon or good morning to you guys over there. I'm sure it'll be various time zones for everybody at the moment. So the end of the first lockdown week for us here in the UK. And we're all producing models, which is great. Very good indeed, I must admit. We're all having a fantastic time. So up with you today, just because it's shameless plug, if I can get it to load, it is going to load. Here we go, web. I've been trying to set this all up. The next part of the MIG is up, part 6. This basically is a little bit more in depth than what I normally do, because in this particular video I talk about the importance of priming your model and getting a nice silky smooth primer, so it doesn't carry forward through the next couple of coat paints and things like that. So we go around, we have a look at some blemishes, and we take care of those that are actually on the model. Then we sand the entire thing down, just because there's any texture in the paint, we want to get rid of all of that. And then we obviously re-prime it up, and then we're going through of how we made the colours to do the actual decals, because the decals are in reverse. Usually it's the darkest colour, the decal. They're in the lightest one in this one. So as you can see down in here, we do a patch test of how we, basically if you was to brush it on, I think what would happen is it wouldn't show correctly. You need to airbrush it to get a true sense of the colour. So basically we did this lower part of the tail here, and then we put one of the decals on to see how close we could get it with various colours and things like that. And then hopefully, as you can see, we have one very shiny. If I can go to me, and then hold on, we need to bring up one of the cameras. Which ones we have? This one. You can see we managed to blend it in and get it all good. So happy with that. And as you can see, she's very shiny. It's had a bit of a gloss coat right the way over it, really to seal in these decals, to get them, make sure that they're not going to come back and bite me by getting any wash under it or anything else like that. But very happy. Turned out very nicely with this one. So what I'm hoping is over the weekend it'll get a wash coat, and then by next week we'll be into weathering, and then we can get it affixed to the stand. We can get the pylons on. I've done the pylons for it. They're all sorted and everything. So I've done the first draft of the actual editing, just to see how much footage I've actually got. So I've got enough for another 2 parts, which basically gets you to here. Okay, so that's where it is. So next week you'll probably be about here, but what I might do is put 3 parts up next week, and move through it on this one. So you're really catching up with me as we make our way through with it. But no, she's coming along very nicely. Very happy how that one is. So obviously you guys can go off and you can see that one now it is, but clearly you won't. You'll be hanging around for the next couple of hours to watch us. Basically, that's the plan, isn't it?
It is. That's the plan. It looks very smart, by the way, your Mig.
It does.
It
looks
is.
well
I'm
done.
actually really happy. I think by the time we get the weathering on it, at the moment she's in that really clean phase, and I think it's very much like when I did the F18. It looks nice, but when you get the weathering on it, it'll look even better, because at the moment it's far too shiny for my liking. We need to nail that down a bit. But get the wash on, get the wash off, flat coat, and then we're going to go in with the oils. So I'll be using my favourite oil colour of Starship Filth.
Oh, and guess what?
Right?
That will be back in stock tomorrow because we've had a delivery.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we've got some more in. So tomorrow, because I'm going to work tomorrow, I've not had a chance today because of various reasons that's happened. But I'm definitely going in the morning. We're doing a stock take, as we have said earlier on one of the previous shows. So we're going to have some accurate stock levels of what's in and what's not. And Starship Filth will be back in along with probably black glue and primer and rapid thinner and leveling thinners and the usual stuff. So yes,
Very nice.
happy days.
No, that will be very, very nice indeed. That would be very cool. So that way we can keep up with everything and get the stuff out to you guys as well.
Yep.
All the orders from Flory Models side, that all went up. So all orders that were placed up to around about 11 o'clock this morning, they've all gone today. And then what I'll do is, obviously we'll get a few over the weekend. I'll make sure the rest of them all go out on Monday to you. But I spoke to the post mistress and she's confirming that as far as she's concerned, the post is fine. It's still, delivery times haven't slipped at all. Everything's going ahead and is great. And Lola the Labrador's just turned up. What do you want? Don't say you want to go out now. You've had all the opportunity. It's like having kids. And
I've prepped the PM side of it because I'm going to work tomorrow. All the orders that have come in, up until probably tonight, again, is going tomorrow because I'm going to work early, get the stuff I need to do, and then I'm calling in at the post office because it's going to be quiet because it's a Saturday and I can't see why anybody would want to go. And I'm going to drop my orders off that's accumulated over the last few days.
yes. Do you want to come and say hello? Is this it? Are you getting like, need to be on camera, feeling the need? Come here. Come on in. Hello. See, look.
Hello, Dan.
Your sidekick, no doubt, will be on later on in the show. What's that?
You get one or the other.
You're fine. Yes, you are. Right, can you go away now? Because you shouldn't be in here anyway. Don't want you eating anything, do we? Right, okay, so usual thing, guys, totally informal part of the show. We're going to do some building, so you can follow along with us. Feel free to ask any questions. Usual thing, if we don't answer your question, please just do it again. You know what it's like, they get buried, and everyone's asking questions, and sometimes they slip, and we can't go back up and have a look at it. But honestly, it's nothing personal, so please pop it down there. First one, though, because I was talking to Matt about it just as we came on air, was from one of our questions we did on last night's show, and we were talking about extra acrylic paints and Hataka red lines, and the question was, and I got to remember what it was now, it was basically, it was from Peter, and he was saying, because I did say to him, have you seen it? It's here, and he did, up at Stupid O'Clock. He said, thank you very much for the great insight and the overview into the, looking now at the Hataka red line. Showing that this appears to be in sets. That's in trouble. They are in sets with those ones. Anyway, he was saying, quick question, the Attacker acrylic thinners, is it best for the red line?
Yes.
And is there a red line thinner, or is it just an acrylic thinner general would be fine with it? They're blue and...
Well, it's got its own thinners. Okay, so the acrylic thinners, the Attacker acrylic thinners is for the red line and the blue line, which is obviously the acrylic range.
Yeah.
I've not got none here because I've got some red line paint here. There we go. I've got a set of red line here. So I've got a feeling Vallejo airbrush cleaner will work and airbrush thinners. Okay. But I've got no X28 because he did ask about that, and I've got none here to try. And I can't remember if it works or not. So obviously, like I say, I'm off to the unit tomorrow to do my orders. I'll bring some back and we could do a bit of an on test.
Yes.
I've also got as well, which I've found, some extra
acrylic thinners.
I've got that, and I've also got Life Colour.
Yeah, I've got some of that. Yeah.
Acrylic thinners, which I can't see why they won't work because they're acrylic thinners, but we can do a bit of a test anyway. But I think it's the X20A, or obviously the Mr. Hobby equivalent, the Aqueous thinner, which is pretty much the same stuff. So we can do, we'll do a bit of a test and see how it reacts with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. So we've got a quick question here from SteamFan61. Says, afternoon Phil, Matt and Nathan. Ryan here. Question about the Haynes aircraft manuals. Good for reference photos? Question mark. The reason I ask is because I have quite a big collection of them. I did, because I used it on the Wessex, wasn't it? My Wessex build that I did, the big one, the 32nd one, whose was it? Was it yours, Nathan? Whose book did I borrow? Somebody's?
Either mine or Rob's. I forget which one was which.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Was it Rob's one?
Perhaps it was Rob's
one. I think one was Rob's. I think I sent you like an old one with black and white pictures.
That's in it. So, but yeah, I've got a couple of them. To be honest, I got a couple for Christmas. I've got one on the Sherman tank. And I've got another one on something else as well. I can't remember what it is now. F-14. You know, I think they're really nice. In some ways, some of the information's been out in other magazines, I think. But generally, I think they're a great insight, especially if you've got no idea what you're on about. You can have a bit of a coffee table moment with it, get a feel for it, get a bit more insight into the mechanics and the workings of them as well. So I quite like them. And in fact, we've got them coming along with the master grade Millennium Falcons.
Falcon. To be honest with you, Gary at Tiger does get them in. He does sell them. We can get Haynes manuals. To be honest, he's got loads. He's got absolutely loads of them. At the minute, we don't want to turn into sort of a bookshop, so it's not something we're looking at. But you never know in the future. It's always good to have reference, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You can never have enough reference books, as clearly I have got loads. So yes. Hello from Florida. Thank you for all you're doing. Much appreciated. No problem, Bobby. Absolutely fantastic.
Cool.
So some of the other things. Hello everyone. Here, new member of the Flory family, Peter from the Netherlands. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
You're all doing a great job. I'm enjoying the videos. Thank you for this. No problem at all. And I have to say, we have had quite a surge in new members over the last few days. So welcome to the Flory family. Remember, check out the videos that in the hints and tips area in the forum. I've done a series of like 3 or 4 videos on how to find your way around, because we do understand our forum isn't like anybody else's. I think it's easier, personally. It's easier to find your way around and find things, but if you're not used to it, it can look a little bit odd to a lot of people, because we use the tile system instead of lines of text. So but if you can't, have a look in there. You'll see all about it, how to find your way around, how to find all the actual tutorial videos, how to find obviously all the live stuff we do, and it's all got its own areas everywhere in the forum and things like that, and it's mirrored on the main site. So, and finding your way around, and obviously you get the discount with 15% off anything from Flory Models as well, so you can get that as well, making your way through. But have a look, because it explains everything, and you can listen to me waffle on going through all of those. And especially for uploading your own images, there's a little bit of an act to it, but you can upload, and we host all your photos for you as well. So yes, very good indeed. So shall we have a look to see where we're all at? Shall I start? If I go probably close up might be better with me, and then we can go me. So here's our little friend, our little French Trojan. So as you might see, I've painted the cockpit area purely because we did the glass yesterday, so I can actually get this on, and that is again amazingly a superb fit. No fit issues with that glass on there at all. Obviously I'm not going to mess around with it, it's only a little bit of a fun project. Okay, so we're going to glue that on in a moment, so we'll get that in place, and then we can think about taking out, because I am going to have to fix, I think, this little one where I've had to bend the wing a bit, give it a bit of brute force and ignorance to get it to conform to the right angles and things. So we're going to take care of that, and then do a little bit of seam checking, and then have a look around under here, and then we'll probably pop in the odd little raised panel line. We'll come in with a sharp knife, and we'll do that as well, and then we can think about getting some primer on this and really seeing how it is. So looking forward to doing that one. So that one should be good. Then we've got, hold on if I've done this correctly. Oh no, it's going to slightly show. Oh, Matt's all right. We got Matt just down in here.
So I have just off cam, just painted the rubber tyres on the wheels, and I'm doing a bit of colour modulation and doing the detail work before I just whack the decals on and start weathering. So I think this afternoon, I think I'll get the couple of decals on. I'm going to leave this to dry, and I think I might drop back onto my Buccaneer.
Yeah.
Because now I've got the my decals and the instructions, I can get some masking done, and I might see if I can get the top of this painted as well to carry on with this.
Yeah.
So that's my plan.
Cool. Very good. Right. Okay. So I might have to. Oh no, it's working. Right. Sorry, Nathan.
I think the plan for today is to sand this to within an inch of its life.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be like a different scale by the time I finish sanding it. And I found the decals.
Ooh, I did see you. Was that what you were doing last night? Was Liquitexing them again?
So I put some of the microscale decal film over the top, just brushed it on in the hope that, I can see that these have got hairline cracks in the roundels, I think, are past it. But I'm just sort of living in hope that I can get some of these decals off in one piece. So we'll see. But today's mainly just going to be about attacking this with sanding sticks, I think.
Bless it. I still think it'll look so much better when it's grey, because that plastic colour just doesn't do any favours.
It's not, it's awful, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think once it's got a coat of grey primer on it, it'll probably look not so bad at all.
I think so. That's the plan anyway.
Right.
Right, okay, so
Right.
I'm slightly out of a queue on the top, but never mind, you can roughly get me as well. In fact, I don't think that's working, unless I can, hold on, let me do this. With the power of like, oh, I can do it, it's a bit weird, but hold on, bear with me. I've got more things you can shake a stick at here. There we go. So yes, this is the plan here. What we'll do, we can read out all the questions and keep an eye on the chat then, guys, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
We got one from yeah, pronouncing names is not my strong point, clearly. It says, hi Phil and the team, hi from Brest in Brittany. I believe you mentioned you wanted to see a Concorde kit. Hella have produced the 172nd, if you feel brave. Yes, well you have got a couple of options with Concorde kits, and I have built them. I've done the Airfix one. Phew. I was just saying the other day how nice it'd be if Tamiya was to bite the bullet and do it.
Is the Hella one better?
No, the Hella one's the same kit as the Airfix one.
I was going to say they're the same, aren't they? So
yeah. I think it's when Umbro
Right.
own both companies.
Both companies, yeah.
Does one have British Airways and the other one have Air France decals then? Is that how it's done?
I think that's how they've done it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to wedge this to get this anhedra on this wing done, which is a pain in the ass, but hey ho.
Is it bugging you?
It's bugging me because it's not right.
Alright, I'm just putting our chat on. I've got to load it up, so just bear with me and then I can get back to painting.
I think we're going to have to go with super glue and kick it.
Roger, I think, wants to add to his order. If it's not already been dispatched.
Gone. Rogers is gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Posted, oh God. Well, yesterday I think it went. Leslie went to the post office, so yeah, yesterday it went. So,
Oh, dear.
yeah. So sorry about that. It's already gone to you, Roger.
And Brian Cuthbert's asking, what's the oldest kit in your stash? He's found a 1/48 scale Pyro Bristol Bulldog. And there's no idea when or where he bought it.
I'm trying to think. Mine could be an Airfix Belvedere. But I might have something colder, I don't know. But top of my head, I know the Belvedere's an old one. I think that's from like the early 70s boxing of it.
Yeah.
What else have I got? I have got some else that's knocking on. Mind you, how old's the Peacemaker? The 72nd piece?
Yeah, that's got to be... I don't know. That might be 80s, actually.
So I'm trying to think if I've still got kits in the stash from when I was a kid. I wouldn't remember.
Oh, also, obviously, I've got a Matchbox Dornier 18, so that must be from the 70s. I think. Oh, yeah, I've got a few gems.
Dodgy. I think I'd call it dodgy, not gems.
But yeah, all right then.
I can't for the life of me remember.
do apologise if my head's under the cam, by the way.
Right, I'm going to get high on Kicker. It's great.
Enjoy.
I did find another old kit though. My
What?
Hella, given
Ooh.
the French flavour. Focke-Wulf 56.
You got the Strasser?
Yeah.
Oh, Bryn's got that. He were on about it, but he's got. Has he got no decals for it? I don't think he's got any decals.
See, it's like the only bit that's not written in French is the bit where it says "Made in France." Doesn't look. Do you know what? Again, it's got really fine raised panel lines, but I think it looks all right.
I don't think that's a bad kit. Has it got much of a cockpit?
Does it need a cockpit? Where's the cockpit?
Sean's put up, can I use rapid thinner with enamels? I mainly use Humbro, but I've bought some Alclad enamels too.
Yeah, you can. I've done it.
I must admit, I've never tried that.
And Phil, yes, everything's been sent. Yours went yesterday. Well, I think one of yours went the day before, and then the catch-up one went. So yes.
Lauren's painted his Russian Red Star logo, and he used 0 paints on the mirror, and it worked. He's fine.
Happy days.
So now he's just working on the final bits and pieces. Filio's doing the camo work on his Rebel P51C. Very nice.
Glenn on YouTube's asking if you can put Tamiya acrylic over an enamel paint. It's only got silver in enamel and needs to use it as the base for the main colour, which is going to be chipped. It's just drying time, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as it's dry.
Yeah.
Leave it to dry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about the drying time and not flood it on. Just put it on light.
What did you use your rapid thinners with? What enamel paint?
Just a Humbro.
Yeah, it sprayed all right. It didn't clog or anything.
No, it's fine.
All
Didn't do
right.
anything particularly special with it.
To be honest, I've used levelling thinner before.
Can't really show you, but it's all masked up. But I did you can't see it. But I did the inside of my F16 intake in Umbral 129, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's the only colour match I've got for the underside of the F16.
Yeah.
But it sprayed really well and dried rapidly.
And rock hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously going to dry. It dries dead flat, but I don't mind that. Got scribing to do, but can't find my ruler.
Right, just a little bit of seam check in there. A little bit of black paint. Leave that to dry a sec.
Roger on YouTube reckons I'm going to have a blunt scriber by the time I finish with this build. Probably right.
Yeah, it'd be like old rusty nail.
And then Carl on YouTube saying that self-leveling thinner works with Humbrol enamels as well.
Yeah, that definitely does.
Yeah, that will. Being
that.
hot lacquer. Question for the team: how to get accurate stripes on a tiny 1/72 pitot tube?
Oh god.
The thing is, I think, you know, at the end of the day, there's lots of different ways of doing that. Obviously, very thin masking tape, which you can, like for me, I tend to have one of these infinity boards, and you can then cut it to 0.4 mil. So you just put your tape on and you just run the knife over it, and it follows the lines. This is, as you can see under here. So you just follow the lines, and then you can peel it off to be very, very thin, and then you can wrap it. So prime it to the colour you want. So if you wanted like red and white stripes, whatever it is on there, then you can do it and come across that way, and you can go down to tiny. A lot of it is just time, patience, and going through it. and doing it. The other way is to dip it, reverse dip it, start at one end and start working your way through. You know, you can go down that way, but when you're dealing with tiny stuff like that, it's just a case of masking smaller, getting smaller with it, and you'll be fine.
Just any other way, really.
My 8-year-old son is painting a space marine. Fantastic, that's good. Get him into it. We want pictures. Send us pictures. Hello from Austria. I'd like to know what you guys think about tabletop games like Flames of War and Bolt Action. Now, I'll show my ignorance because I don't know. Do you guys know it?
I know what it is. Yeah.
But never played them.
No, I've never played them.
I think we were on about it the other night, and the pieces or whatever they are actual model kits. So I think it'd be good.
Yeah, mini
You
models.
have to build them and paint them and weather them like you would. I'm doing with this, or you know, or you're doing with whatever. So they've got figures, you get the armies, and they're all proper, accurate sort of tanks and artillery, and you know, soft skins and whatever else. So yeah.
To be honest with you, I think that's the ultimate of going back to being your kid, isn't it? So you build your model and you can play with it and legitimately get away with it. Instead of doing like what we all do, like, you know, the idle, you know, so I say go for it. Absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Like, you know, I don't say you don't do it because we all do. The bit where you're carrying your model, right, from one room to another, the bit that you don't bank it into the corners, because we all do it.
Aeroplane noises as well.
That's it, absolutely. That's how it should be. I do that all the time. For the 148th Kafir, what is better, AMK or kinetic kit? Ooh, see, now this is the one, isn't it? This is the one where you take your choices and you know, because I quite like, to be honest, the AMK one, but then Andy's had loads of troubles with the 72nd one, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not enjoyed.
But to be honest, I can't say officially because I haven't built either. But the Kafir is one of my favourite aircraft. I read the book all about it years ago, about where they stole the Israelis, Mossad stole all the stuff for it. So I've always had a bit of a thing for the Kafir, but I've never actually built one. And I've reviewed both now. But I think
just for the MK one.
I was going to say, if I had a gun to my head, I'd have to say AMK over the kinetic one.
And Andy's thing's probably build error.
Yeah, Andy's probably built error because
he's not on, so we can say it.
Throw him under the bus.
Yeah, it's his sausage fingers.
Yes. The cutting board, Bobby, is this one. Actually, to be honest, who is it? Is it oh god, who's the company who do these?
Infinity, but AK of.
Is it AK Interactive do them as well now? Oh,
There you go.
sorry, wrong one.
There you go, look.
Yes.
So.
Oh, you got the AK ones? All right. So Infinity was the original company. I've got to fit on the Korean or something.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Infinity,
But AK now have got the branding on them and flog them. They're a bit more expensive because it's got AK written on it clearly. But but Infinity was the original. I don't know if can you still get an Infinity one or have they sold out to AK? Don't know.
I don't know, to be honest.
But they
I've seen them in ages without the AK branding on them.
Let me get the other ones because they do a few different flavours. To be honest, I've got them all. So they do B, which is the circle one. So down in here you've got squares, diamonds, checks, and all the rest of it as well for doing that type of thing, and obviously circles, which is quite handy. You've got C, which is radiuses. So it's basically that working outwards.
Right. Just for you think, AK only did 1 and 2. So you've got your squares, the circle, this one.
Oh, right, so they don't do the radiuses.
No.
Sorry, let me turn that off, and then you can probably see it better then. Oh, Christ, that's way too close. There we go. So
yeah. They are good, aren't they?
So that's your radiuses, which is C. And then you've got D, which is, well, it's ovals and that type of thing as well.
You see, that would be useful. The other two would be useful if they bring them out, because I think, you know.
See, also, if you're doing like a tale of, say, a World War II fighter, and it's got checks or diamonds or whatever, triangles, markings all over it, this is great. Because obviously you don't have to, you go to whatever size you want, and you can then just make up your masks just like this with these. They're very, very good. And to be honest, the black side then doubles up for using it for photo etch cutting and stuff, because that's what I use the black side, because you can see it then, it's great.
Yeah.
So yes, handy, I must admit. I use mine all the time. There's probably not a build I don't use it in some shape or form on it, even if it's photo etch or if it's something else, it's just one of those ones which is really handy.
Yeah, it's a good tool to have in your box.
Yes, it's one of those ones you will get your money's worth out of it.
Neil's just put a question up and I can't answer it because I've never even heard of it. What's your view on MIG's transparent primer? I've never even heard.
What, clear coat is it?
Well, I thought it was a MIG tape when I first read it. I can't imagine
what's the point of a transparent primer? I've got no idea. That just sounds a bit
surely
useless.
Isn't it just that you'd call that a clear coat?
Oh yeah.
It's about, to be honest. I did see it online and I thought, what the hell? And then,
see, I have to be careful what I say now because I'm I'm open to the public, so I won't say anything clearly.
Keep your mouth shut. Roger's right. Yes, the cutting mats are on the PM site. We do stock them.
Yes.
The AK ones anyway. We don't do the Infinities, unfortunately, but yeah, we do.
Sean's asking about rapid thinners with enamels. If you sort of hang on 5-ish minutes, I'll spray some Umbrol enamels with rapid thinners and see what happens. I'll prime the tail in Umbrol enamels. See what happens with rapid thinners. Give me 5 minutes and I'll do that. And tell us, have we read the question from Telescope Replicator about how much non-professional modelers can exert on decision-making of large manufacturers when it comes to releasing old kits or making new ones of our choice? So question, vote with your wallet, I guess. I mean, Airfix every year at the big model show in Telford put like a little sort of suggestion box out, don't they?
Yes.
How much influence it has on their decisions, I've no idea. But that's a question for Pramjit, really, isn't it? How they choose.
It is. Pramjit will be on next week.
So just
Yeah, I've spoken to him. Yeah, he messaged me yesterday. I haven't got back to him, so he's probably watching this. Pranjit's been given the green light, so he will be on. We're going to have Airfix on with us next week. I'm going to get him building as well. They're all self-isolating, so it's fine.
Oh, right. Okay.
I guess he could, as long as he's got a computer, he could do most of his job at home, if not all of it, couldn't he?
Yeah. So he has been given the green light. So we will find out. We will ask him questions.
Be interesting to have him on. I haven't seen him since Bolton show.
Bolton show, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So it'll be nice to have a catch-up as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing, that it's definitely not the model shows on the head for most of the year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss them. I'm like,
I don't miss loving paint around.
No.
Excuse me. Somehow you managed to dodge that.
Oh, once. It's my mum's birthday. Once. Come on.
But if it wasn't for Shell,
Yeah.
bless her.
It is shot. It is apps. I mean, people have not done it. I can't describe how heavy a paint rack is when it's full of paints. It's
And
just
just to
horrendous,
clarify,
isn't it?
because people say, well, why don't you empty it out? To be fair, we do empty the big Mr. Colour or Aqueous one because that is heavy. The other two you can lift, but we only get so much time to set up the shows in the morning. And if you can imagine, we carry, how many do we take? 4 paint racks now, is it? So
Yeah.
2 Tamiya, 2 attackers. Actually, no, it's 2 attackers, the 2 Tamiya Rangers, and the big Mr. Hobby one. So you can imagine how much time it is to put the paint back on the shelf. So, yeah. we won't be selling until about lunch at the earliest.
No, that's it.
Got a question about Gundam on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's got a clear Gundam kit and he just wants to paint it opaque. Do I just prime and then paint it over, or is there something better? That's a question, isn't it?
Ooh.
Is it clear plastic?
I'd prime it, I think.
I think I would prime it as well.
Yeah, because it's going to like show through, isn't it?
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be, especially if you've got white going on and stuff like that. To be honest, if you, again, this is one of those ones, I clearly don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Gundam, but I always imagine, shall we say, being diplomatic, you want your Gundam to look really heavy, because that's what they are, aren't they? You imagine these things being hundreds of tons. So I would say paint it black. Everything black, and then if you're going with white afterwards, it's got that real heavy look to it, and it tends to be what I do on translucent parts anyway. So like clear parts, because of like the framing, you want it to look solid and heavy and metal, so that's why I will do it on here in a minute. This will get a coat of black before it's silver on the outside or whatever it is. So even if it's green on the inside or whatever color it might be, I will do that first, then it gets a coat of black, just to do it. Undercarriage legs, geared doors, anywhere that's thin plastic that could be a bit translucent, I will actually paint black, just to give it that solid look to it. So yes, that's what I would go for. Any idea the latest on the Wingnut Wings Lancaster, please? To be honest, last time I spoke to Wingnut Wings guys was at Telford after the show last year, and then we heard the rumour there that it was delayed. Because they were retooling some areas they weren't happy with. So yeah, don't know. It's one of those which is a bit like a bit of string. You know what Wingnut Wings are like? They won't release it until it's perfect. So watch this space. I know they were looking at December this year, so it was after Telford this year. But if that still goes with the world as it is at the moment, I don't know where Wingnut Wings do their injection moulding.
Got a funny feeling it's China.
Yeah.
But I mean, China's apparently opening for business, aren't they? So it might be out on time. You never know.
Steve says, what aeroplane kits are good for starter kits to learn the basics of modelling and airbrushing and painting? Are 1/72 or 148 kits the best ones, and what do you recommend? Honestly, Airfix kits, they're pretty cheap, and all the modern ones are good. So if it says vintage on the box or classic, is it classic or vintage?
Classic, I think.
Classic, is it? Anyway, avoid them like the plague, because they're just awful. That's what we're building now, basically. But the new ones, I've done loads of them, and shameless plug, I know, but go and have a look at the tutorials area, and in there you'll see I did it because I built their 72nd Harrier, I did the 72nd Spitfire, and it's what I used when I did my training things here and things like that, and we do the things with the kids. We always just do those because they actually go together really, really well. I know a lot of people say about, they're small and fiddly. And it is, if you have got sausage fingers, as we say, and your dexterity's not that good, then I would say go for 48th and start with something pretty straightforward, nice and simple. And to be honest with you, again, the Airfix kits, the new breed of Airfix kits are very, very nice. If you want to step up in money, then obviously have a look at Tamiya's range of 48 scale aircraft kits. Because
to be fair though, Bill, Tamiya's sort of, if you go for like the Mustang, the older stuff, they're only 20 quid.
Yeah, and that's it. And they're really good kits.
Yeah, they're Warbird.
Well, to be fair, they are to me cheaper than the Airfix stuff, because if you're going for like the Hunter or the 48, I think obviously if you're going more for the World War II prop stuff, you sub sort of 20 quid you can pick them up for. But like the Tamiya Mosquito, £22, I think.
Yeah,
that's bargain then.
It is, yeah. It's only the newer stuff that's crept up in price. The new releases. Obviously, if you want a Tomcat or anything, then you're talking, strong money. But the older stuff goes together fantastic.
Yeah, but I've got down in here, if you want to see quick builds on them, is the Tamiya, which was my favourite kit of all time until not many years ago. And that's the 48 scale classic Tamiya P51. She used to be able to pick it up for a tenner back in the day. And it's a beautiful kit. It goes together really, really nicely. So have a look down in that one. But if you go along to tutorials on the site, it's all free to get into any of this if you're a non-member. Okay, click into tutorial, wait 10 minutes for it to load through. Okay, and then go into here. We're looking at modeling tools and all the bits and pieces. This is the basic stuff. Okay, and in here you will see we use, I've got a feeling, I can't remember what something, so we've got a Spitfire we're using here. It looks like that is a twin boomed something or other. I can't think what that is now. Crikey, and I built it. God, vampire? Then yeah, it must be a vampire. So there's a vampire there, there's something else, and these are all just the basics on modelling. So it's straightforward. Go through those, have a look. Talks about sanding, how to sand a kit, usual basic things like that. And then down in here, how to do filler, basic ones, making your own styrene stuff, spoke about before. Riveting and rescribing. These are great little ones just to pick up the tips and tricks as you make your way through. And then you can have a look at the full video builds as well, with all the freebie ones, or if not, if you are a member, just work your way through the list. And you see some great ones in there, but that'll cover all your basics in there. And most of the kits I use is because they're pretty straightforward and easy to do, you know?
Yeah.
So yes, definitely well worth having a look at those ones.
So David Robbins on YouTube saying his sons have built 2 easy kits from Revell and Italeri and loves them. Is thinking of getting the Airfix Spit and 109E, and they are 2 lovely little kits.
Yes.
In 72. And if you want jets, the Harrier Skyhawk.
Skyhawk, definitely.
Airfix Skyhawk is a brilliant little thing.
Ow. Got a bottle of water on my leg.
Better than super glue.
Right then.
So what's happening? I think Lynn Ostler's on about the US is closing everything down, or starting to.
Yeah, the coronavirus is
Yeah.
getting a foothold in the States, isn't it, unfortunately?
Yeah.
Yeah, for all those people saying, oh, this is just exaggeration and scaremongering, I think really it's coming home to roost now. It's starting to take its grip.
It is, isn't it? Especially when we've got a Prime Minister and Health Minister who've caught it.
Yeah, that's it.
Off a prince, the heir to the throne, probably. It's really getting...
Yeah, you always know when it's pretty serious when, as you say, heads of state start getting it and people, you know, important people.
Yeah.
That really does mean anyone can get it, you know.
Hmm.
Mind you, they ought to make this an annual event. It's good for the mojo. The country's doing nicely. Think of everyone's modelling mojo. As I say, if you look at the figures on the site and everything, we're up by about 29% as of this morning. On people coming to the site and views and, you know, watches and time being watched. It's all up where people have got far too much time on their hands now.
It's strange times, isn't it?
It is.
Right, you have to fill these ejector pins with super glue because that's the quickest way of getting it done.
So how is everybody getting on with their Matchbox old kit builds then?
Should we have a look-see on the site?
Yeah. You can shout up in chat as well, how you doing?
Right, okay, so here we go. So, this is, let me just refresh it so we can go through the latest stuff on here. Okay, so starting off, we've got the ancient C130.
Oh, yeah,
This is, yeah, Didn't this one used to come with a missile, the Bloodhound or whatever it was at one point? They did a joint kit years ago with it.
Yeah, the best one was the one where it was in like the desert brown and
Yeah,
fancy.
that's the one. Sure, I had that one.
Just think there'll be a new Hercules out from Zarevsta this year.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
That should be alright, I think, yeah.
It is. So anyway, this is the 1975 boxing that was first released in 1971. Jesus. So this thing's almost 50 years old, this kit. It's 49 years old.
Oh, just talking of Zarevsta, now I don't know this, but having spoken to my man at Tamiya again today,
Yeah.
I've got a feeling the Hind will be in.
Ooh.
It's coming. So, it should be with us, I think, next week.
Cool. See,
Because
things
a
are
load of
still
back orders.
happening.
Yeah, no, I think it's out because it was due beginning of next month. So it's just what he said was a load of back orders have come in, and then he kind of said how much it's all going to be, and I'm like, I don't remember that, and then it's just clicked. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
So anyway, well done, Steve. That's looking great on that one. It's coming along very nicely in the lovely sound of diarrhea brown plastic.
Lovely,
Okay, Matchbox A10
best kit ever. This
by
one.
Chris.
Bill needs to build another.
I think I've done my lifetime's worth of A10s. Look at that.
Yeah, but not in that grey.
Jesus.
What's
I'm
wrong
just
with
looking
that?
at the nose shape.
They never get it right. Nobody's got it right.
Nobody's got it right, no. Ooh, nice decals. Look, in there, going in with the seat. It's got a fully detailed cockpit. Look, this is proper old school when the seat is just like that, isn't it?
It is a floor and a seat.
I remember building this kit. It's very fond memories doing these. Very
I
nice.
miss about think you're never going to see.
Well, look, wings are on. Because I remember mine being that colour because I never painted it. And I don't think my engine, the cells were basically pointing in the same direction.
That's not a bad joint for the wings, is it?
No, that's it. Done a nice job on that. It's far better than mine. I think the last time I built this, I must have been... I always tell, as a lot of people know, I moved a lot as a kid. So I think I must have done this there. So that means I would have been about 7 or 8.
7. Whippersnapper.
It was. I remember after this kit, after I built this kit, I built, and I can't remember who kit it was, but the HE111 in 172nd.
All right, yeah.
Oh God, did I make a bull's ass of the glass work on that?
Would that have been the old Airfix one?
I've got a feeling it might have been, because I was very limited on what kits I could get. It was
Yeah,
Matchbox and Airfix, really.
Yeah,
Tiny bit of hella.
Asagawa do one, but I don't think that would have been out when you were.
No.
So yeah, it would have been the Airfix one then, I think.
Anyway, very nice, Chris. Okay, Matchbox Hawk 72nd by Michael. Oh, look at that for box art. That's good box art, look.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
You see, you'd have that as a picture, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like a proper picture, framed and.
Very nice. Those decals might be a bit troublesome by now.
Fine.
I know somebody does a mask set. Okay, so what up, Michael? Richard's doing the Grumman A6 Intruder. Look, Fujami. This will be a good kit, to be honest.
No, go back up, Phil, and read the description.
Oh yeah, no, it's still Fujami. It'd be fine.
Tooling, 1969.
No, but they were light years ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah, the people were in the car in '69. It's that long ago.
Come on, let's have some pictures of it then. See, look at the detail. It's got proper ejector seats. All right, they're a bit flat.
It's got a cockpit.
It's got a cockpit. It's got piping work and everything in the back. It's hardly any different from mine.
You know what? Change them seats and hey, you got pilots.
Pilots, you see. Take it all back.
Hey, go back up. I don't want to know what he's doing on the left.
Well, yeah. Tandem cockpit for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be gear up, look.
I think he's enjoying his self-isolating too much.
Look at this raised rivet detail to go along with the raised panel lines. It's fine.
I'm looking at
It's got the odd little fit issue, but honestly, that's nothing that won't buff out.
I was going to say, get Sandy's stick on that, beautiful.
Or a grinder.
Yeah, yeah, hammer tools are a must.
Yeah, that's it. Look at that. See?
That's all right.
Tell you. It's done a good job. It'll be fine. Honestly. The odd little, modification.
Yeah.
Decals, they'll be fine. I can't see any problem with them. Crispy decals, that's what we like. So yes, very nice indeed. Good job. Right, what else have we got? Okay. Oh, an LRDG.
I bet Chris just finished this, how fast he builds.
Very nice. Yeah, it is.
I tell you what, actually, I was looking at this yesterday. You go down and look at the figures that come with it. They are brilliant.
No, they are.
They're so well animated as somebody's put, and it's...
Yeah.
I think they're cracking.
Those sticks look painful.
Is he from the Scouts?
Yeah, I think what you put on that is like Vlad the Impaler's been
Yeah. They do look... I mean, they're just amazing, these little Matchbox kits with the diorama bases and stuff.
Are they doing the YMCA, do you think?
It does look a bit like
Young
that.
man, do.
I think they're doing the catalogue pose. Pointed and,
That's it. Oh, hello, number 2. What's up? You're early. Don't stare at me with them eyes. It's not fair.
He's come to annoy you because you've told Lola off.
Yeah, Lola's sending her in saying, get food.
Yeah.
Look at that. See? Look at the diorama.
Go.
No. Everyone's doing far too well at this. It should be in the spirit. We want gluey fingerprints. Okay. Oh, look. Hayford.
Oh, the Hayford. That's my bucket list kit, that.
James doing Hayford. Oh, look.
I think he's put in chat, he's realised he's got to rig it.
That'll be fine. All good. Once you get the first 15 bits of rigging doing, the 16th one will go really well.
That's it. It's fine. Guys, quick.
Ta-dum.
Ta-dum.
It does. I mean, look at that thing. It's a thing of beauty.
It's like from the Wacky Races. And any more pictures? There we go. Going at it.
That's so post-war or interwar, innit? Interwar aircraft.
Yeah, I reckon we should do some sort of sig on that at some point.
What an interwar sig.
Sorry, you can see a lot more of James's work at the end of the show in the gallery. I haven't put them all up, James, because you put up Shedload this week, so we had to give everybody a shout. But I think you've got about 4 or 5 of your builds are up this week.
As the Provost restoration going.
Piston Provost restoration. It's all
Oh,
this
that's
one.
brilliant. I mean, look
Really
at the state
nice
of that.
job.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Cool. That's what most of my kits look like after about a week.
Yeah.
That are on fire. Yeah, in the spirit of the build, everyone wants to take them out and burn them afterwards.
Fill them with like fireworks.
Yeah, that's it. Ooh, look. Strip back. Crikey. I'm very impressed with everyone doing this, by the way. Look at that.
That is a proper back to
Yeah.
bare bones restoration. That
This is
isn't
a
it?
proper restoration job. You should be on the BBC.
Hey, it's recycling, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Upcycling, don't they call it now?
Upcycling, yeah. All right.
Very good. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Right.
Okay. Matchbox Lancaster.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, look more like a hunter to me.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, there it is.
£8.
Ooh, bargain. Any pickies, kids? Oh, here we go. Look.
Ooh.
Ooh. Look, see? Don't make them like that anymore.
Needs a mass set.
Yeah, Matt, I'd build that if I had a mass set.
I probably would, you're right.
Oh, I've just glued myself.
You've what?
I've just glued a cocktail stick to my arm. Brilliant.
Hold on.
Bit of filler.
Be fine that.
I hope that's perfect plastic putty. Be easy to wash off if it is.
But yeah, filler manufacturers are going to see a spike in demand because of this.
Yeah, Simon, in a minute I'll take you over to the PM store and I'll show you. He's having trouble finding the cutting mats.
Oh yeah, they're in. If you go in the PM store, they're under Phil's logo.
Yeah.
That cool bit. If you hover over that, and then they're in there.
Toby's working on the Supermarine Stangrar, proper flying boat. Don't look too bad, that. Ooh, no more on that one. I don't think anybody else has got any more down in here. Let's have a look. Messerschmitt.
There you go, Nate.
Nath, one for you.
Days.
Look at that
Oh,
sun in the
Hattigawa.
background, just to prove it doesn't always rain. Look at that lawn. Crikey, it's like a croquet thing. Wish mine looked like that.
Get your mower out then.
Yeah, I did yesterday. I mowed the lawn. I had a massively really busy day yesterday. I literally didn't stop, and I mowed the lawn as well, but it definitely doesn't look like that. There we go.
Not too bad.
Coming together. Very nice. Look, see, look, he's almost finished it.
I've properly glued a cocktail stick to my arm here. I don't know.
That's a nice space that he works in as well, isn't it?
It is nice. There we are.
View, a window.
Nice to have a window seat.
I
I don't
You know
get
what?
one. I like
I
a
should
mushroom
actually-
in here.
put my blind up really, because I've got a thing of view that, mind you, all I can see is my washing that's on the washing line. That's not what I see out the window.
So is that Buck Dean or Dean Buck? Can never work it out. Anyway, he's done the Tamiya 1/48 scale Mitsubishi A6M 2. Is that it? There you go.
Right, I think I have to do a bit of decaling.
Oh look, Matchbox 262. Kenny's
Oh,
working on that. Look at the box art on that.
See, that's another good box art.
Yeah. Look, a nice colour plastic as well.
Yeah.
Have you decided on the colour of the
Yeah.
styrene in the day?
This is it.
I built that kit. It's a decent little kit actually.
1974, look.
Ooh, the year I was born. Hey, I've worked out as well. You know, this West. This was the first manufactured year I was born.
Alright, there you go.
That top look in it.
Oh look, in the black primer. All looking good. Got the black underside done. Coming together. Very nice. Good job on that, everyone. Oh, Minicraft Ventura.
Yeah, that's
Lucky
brave, isn't it?
Ventura. Cripes. See, look, that's all right. Look, it's all recessed.
I'm gonna say that ain't a bad kit.
I was going to say it's a pucker kit.
Alright,
Oh,
go
look, he's
back.
painting on the sprue. Ooh.
It's the future. It's the future. That's how you do it.
You're going to have a group build on that. You can only paint the entire thing on the sprue and no touch-ups afterwards.
Yeah.
What do we got? Matchbox. Oh, look, there's the one. I've been waiting for somebody to do this one. Stefan's doing it. This is the big 24th scale.
30 seconds.
30 seconds,
30,
sorry. Yeah. See, I've built this, but none of the panels fitted. Is that normal?
What, on the
1976.
Spitfire? No.
I don't know. That's probably what the real Spitfire was like.
Probably. Look at that. You think of it, 1976, look, it's got all the ribbon on the inside.
Yeah.
Full detailed engine. See, Matchbox were light years ahead of everyone.
I think, to be fair though, they was in competition with the big Airfix kits, the 24th, so I think they'll probably have to, you know, up the game a bit.
Yeah. Well done, David, that's really nice on that one. Here we go, BT Special 95p 72nd Tomcat. There it is.
That's cool box art.
It's the kit in my team, because I did it all my squadron using this kit in VF2 in the Bounty Hunters. Cool. I did VF1 and VF2 as my squadrons. Cool, that's it. Right, okay, so we'll pick one more because I think we're back to where we were before people started building yesterday.
I'm really impressed that this build has taken off. This group build really popular.
It is. Kev's off. He's doing the thingy-majig GP thing. What's it called? I can't remember now.
Oh, he's doing the Morris, isn't it?
The Morris, yeah. Mollop, you're going to have to wait. Got an hour. You see what I have to put up with. Hold on, where's my thing? Oh, she jumped off now. Scrap that, sorry. I can't work under these conditions, you know. I'm a professional.
Never worked with kids and animals.
Yeah, it is. And I've both. Brilliant. Right, where were we? That's the Morris from Kev. This is Alex. Tamiya, 1975.
That's the same age as me.
There you go.
Rubber band tracks. So.
Do not eat that. You can't eat that. Wheels. Get the wheels out of the way. That's the way. Look. Look, detailed engine. All the running gear. Look at the crew. Look at that.
Yeah, proper crew.
Proper crew. Look at that. Molly, no. Seriously, you can't eat that. Hold on.
What's you eating?
A battery. She'd be glowing in the dark.
To say that's not going to do much good, is it?
No. Very good. Coming along very, very nicely. Look at that, into the paint and everything. Everyone's really pushing on with these. Good job.
Yeah. Right.
Roger said he just became a subscriber to the site. Well, you've got tons to catch up on. Literally.
Welcome to the madness.
Yes, welcome to the madness. Yes, you'll never be the same.
No.
Okay, Esky.
Oh, near Mackie.
Yeah.
Oh, orange plastic.
Yeah. Well, is that orange or red? It's bright, whichever.
Yeah, it's bright.
Cool.
I've not started it yet.
Not started yet. Okay, we'll try one more. I think we're into yesterday's. Got the Char B or Char 1, isn't it?
Oh, the Char one being the Renault F17. F17, yeah.
Gordon's on a run with this one. Very nice. Oh, just starting now. Right, okay, so what we'll do, when you guys moved on with a little bit of them, we'll come back and we'll have a proper look-see at those ones. I'll just take you over for the shameless plug bit. Hold on, where are we? We need a new thing. Let's just go PM.
So Stefan on Steam. Yeah, Stefan on the YouTube chat has got the Hayford and the Stranraer in the stash. And he's like wondering why he's doing it to himself. Oh.
You sold out of Dark Dirt and all the sets? Crikey. You need to put in an order.
Yeah. I do, you need to send me some.
Right. I'll get you some sent up.
Yeah. Because
to be honest, I was making up pigment sets this morning.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's sunny. I sat outside and did them outside. So there we go, 1999.
Yeah.
And also, because everyone asked me, these things here, which are these little cups? So these are the ones that I use, okay? And then they're the tops that I use on my bottles with a bit of an upgrade, because I put a brass rod in them.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that Matt recommends, although he is out of stock of those at the moment. The colour cups that don't melt.
Just need to put them back in stock.
Oh, right, okay.
Or arrive. So, like I say, tomorrow, just keep an eye on the site because there is going to be a full run through restock of what we've got and everything. So, yeah.
The Revel Scriber is actually the Trumpy Scriber, which actually isn't a bad one at all, because I use that one for doing light little bits.
Oh, somebody asked what scriber you were using, Nate.
This one.
It's an awful look. I'll say it.
Olaf.
Yeah, this one's quite handy because
Sorry, wrong one. There it is.
this one's quite handy because it's like a.
It's like a flick knife.
It is like a flick knife, isn't it? So it's just. I think I'm one of those people that's gone through every type of scriber going until I found something that worked. This one's all right, but this is the first one I've had this for years. Which just if you do 72 stuff, it's usually bigger than what you're scribing.
Yeah, well, that's the Tamiya did that one as well. I've got that one somewhere, the old P cutter.
But to be honest, I think this is what Plasmo on YouTube put me onto. The saw.
Yeah.
The saw. Yeah.
That's as good a prescriber as anything.
There's mine. The UMM.
Hold on. UMM long one. Yes.
The long one. I've got the other two in here. Look, but the long one. Or actually, that's not a bad scriber because it's very fine if you need to. The razor saw. But yes, that's my go-to because I hate scribing as much as I hate masking canopies. So, good tool, that really good. Shame we don't sell them.
Right, here we go.
Right, I'm going to mute myself because I need to put my kettle on for some warm water. So, back in a moment.
Right, I'm about to spray Humbrol enamel with rapid thinner and see how it goes.
Go on then.
And this
Do I need a
Humbrol
duck? No, I don't need a duck.
is ancient.
Very good. Look, you got an hour yet? You got to wait. Go on, out. Skedaddle, the pair of you. Right, okay, so how are we looking in here? After my slightly little fix. My glue's drying. I think what we'll do is just have a quick polish around the back end here, just to see what we've got. Quick, it's more muted.
See what state I left the airbrush in last time I used it.
Gently, you two.
See, Lee Chambers on YouTube is working on a 1/230th scale DC7.
Cool. Nice.
It's a 1971. It's got recessed panel lines and raised rivets.
See, some companies were really on it, you know, light years ahead of others, and they still fail as companies, you know.
Yeah, funny, isn't it?
What company were you on about then?
I don't know what the company is. It's just a 1/230th scale DC7.
Okay.
Here's the problem with Umbral tins. It's this pot of paint is probably 20 years old, and I can't get in it.
Watch everyone as it explodes all over him.
Yeah.
So here's a proper test of rapid thinners. Can it spray 20-year-old enamel paint and dry? If I can get in.
Yes, I do packs of sanders. Shameless plug now time, everyone. Right, okay, so down in Ha, we do two types. We do the jumbo pack, which is 43 quid, which has got basically a pack of everything in it. You've got 10 packs of everything. Or we do the starter pack, which is the new one. So in there you get everything basically we do, but it's like samples of. So you get the blue sponge, which is roughly the 200, which is the one next to it. And then obviously you get the normal sort of finishing one and general sander, the polisher, and then obviously the skinny versions of them all, and then the standard sanders as well, the coarse, the medium and the fine ones, with the skinnies as well. So you get the full lot in there, which is, there you go, that's all the details in here, and there is a little thing saying what the grits are and everything else like that. So yes. So a bit of a bargain that one, because you actually, it's 15 quid if you bought it separately, so you get it for £9.99 if you buy it, which is the starter set. So the idea is you can have a go with them all, see what works best for you, and then just buy the pack of that. Okay, so that way if you just like the blue sander, say, you can just buy that, and, you know, a pack on its own or whatever you want to do with it. So it just makes it easier because you can just go down. We've got the individuals of each one as well as the big pack. But obviously if you buy the jumbo set, it comes with one of everything in it anyway, so yes. Then obviously you've got the pigments and the bits and pieces all in there as well. And if you do the big jumbo set, you get the free thingy-majig sticker thing.
Oops. Making a mess here. I'm going to do it naughty. I'm just going to put the khaki lump in the bottom of the airbrush and mix in the colour. Break all the rules.
Gonna say it'll choke itself trying to do that.
I was going to say, you mixing in the colour cut?
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
he
I'm
is.
breaking every rule.
Heretic, see? Go on, Matt, tell him.
I'm not. He's just, yeah.
It's not, his silence will speak volumes.
Every rule there's rules to be broken. So just a quick test to see if it'll spray and if it'll dry.
Right, wheels. The fun part for me is going to be seeing if this will actually come off the I'll be able to use the decals. So I'm not going to be masking without them. Right, okay, so this. What do we think of MIG paints?
Never used them.
To be honest, I've only ever tried them once and I found them very, very thin. And it took loads and loads of covers to do it, which I get the feeling that's what they're supposed to be, but it's not my style of painting, if that makes sense. I prefer stuff you just sort of spray and go.
Yeah, I've never used them, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I tried them once. I just found them very, very thin. But I have heard and people have said to me that's the whole point. So you're supposed to put down like 4 or 5 coats. But I'm more of a sort of either one and done person or a couple of, the coats and I'm good to go. I don't, if I'm honest with you, I don't like thin paint. I like to be able to thin it to how I like it and not have it thin in the first place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, perfect.
Phil, speaking of old kits, I have the Italeri 135th scale M24 Chaffee. Back when Italeri used to have their own box art paints. Does it build up well? I have no idea. I don't know that kit at all.
Well, they're old Chaffee. That's not. It's not a bad kit. Tamiya's reboxed it recently, I think.
Oh, well, there you go. Tamiya have put their label on it.
AFV Club have bought out a newer, probably more up-to-date version. But I don't think it's, the Italy one's not too bad.
There you go. Broke about every rule.
Did it spray alright? Oh, it's so much better. Now it's grey.
It was a little bit stop-starty, but that's probably because I mixed it in the colour cup. And I put a very thin coat underneath. And that's touch dry.
Yeah.
Bit of a thicker coat. Again, it's touch dry.
Sorry.
Almost. I mean, I'm not going to hold. I'd be able to put a thumbprint in that, but that's a really old.
Sorry.
It works.
Very good. It's alright. Just my bank trying to get hold of me. I'm sorry. We're receiving a very high number of calls at the moment, so our online banking and mobile app aren't the quickest. Brilliant. Fair enough.
Well, I think what's happening next, I've had an email from the Halifax. They're offering people payment holidays on loans now as well as mortgages. So that's probably why you're not going to get through to your bank anytime soon.
I'd just like a normal holiday.
Yeah, that's what's really starting to bug me a little bit is it's Saturday tomorrow, so I fancy popping out, and then you're like, you can't.
Oh my god, DCS are going to have a typhoon, as in Eurofighter typhoon.
Ooh.
That's made him all excited.
Martin, you're saying about your old son Tyler. Put it on the Facebook page and I can grab it from there. Stick it on the Flory Models Facebook page, and that's probably actually the easiest and quickest way because I can show it on screen. Because the thing is, I'm running multiple screens here, and some of them I can show, some of them can't. The ones that I'm running off my laptop, which is actually running YouTube, it's running the stream, so to speak, because it's sending it across to the laptop, and the laptop sends it out. So it's a little bit difficult of how we get things. And I have my chat and all my, technically emails and stuff are on here, but I can't show them on the screen, if that makes sense. Because it gets rendered and all the bits and pieces on the main computer, then comes over to the laptop sends it. So yes, it all gets a bit confusing, sorry. But yeah, put it on the Facebook page, that'd be the best thing. And I've just got to remember to go to Facebook. Here we go, Facebook. Oh look, Kareen's all over our Facebook, typical. Come on, work, you get work. Where are we? That's it. Yes. Pop them in there, guys, and I'll grab it off of the bottom of today's one. If you put it in as a comment in there, under there, I'll grab them from in there. That would be fantastic. Thank you. Right.
Right, so the answer to that, Sean, can you brush paint it? I reckon you could. It stinks though. That's the only problem with the flipping umbrella and rapid thinner is it is. Oh,
it's a bit potent, isn't it?
It is strong. It is
a little bit whiffy.
I mean, I reckon after spraying that, it'll be. It's dry. I think I'd want to leave it about an hour maybe before I really start trying to handle it. But yeah, it works, and that's Humbrol 140, but it's probably 140 years old as well.
What was it, 140?
Yeah, so that's flat as flat can be.
I thought I was going to say some else, and I'm glad you didn't say
Molly! Seriously? No? Honestly, kids. Right.
There we go, all done.
Leave that alone, you get it. Sod off. Look, fucking roll. Sorry, children. Okay. Right, if I stick that there for a minute, you can see me paint at the same time as doing this. It's all very technical this. I've got more screens and windows open than you could shake a stick at. There we go. Right. I should put a camera on the dogs and you guys can just watch them. It's probably more entertaining. Right, I'm just going to spray for 2, but I'm only literally doing the black work to pre-do the windows.
Well, I've managed to put all 6 decals on.
Is that it? 6 decals?
That is my, my kind of decaling, that is 6. So that's that done, so I'm going to let that dry. I might start doing a bit of a wash on the wheels, to be honest. There.
Matt?
Yeah.
What's a Hobby 2000 Skyhawk?
Original kit for G-Miz.
There's Paul G on YouTube saying he came into the shop looking for a recommendation of a jet and he's been struggling with it.
Alright.
He sold the Hobby 2000 Skyhawk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Fujimi kit, so...
Yeah, it should be alright that, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I crap or is it the model? No such thing as a bad kit, just a bad modeler.
I think it's just the thing, if you skip test fitting, that's when it can cause you bother, isn't it? You just jump straight in with the glue and then hope for the best. That's where I've been bitten in the past. But I mean, we've all had it. I mean, not that long ago, I had a tornado I gave up on. It just brought me up away. Test fits, the way to go. Sean's gonna have to let us know how he gets on brush painting Humbrol and rapid thinner. Would it dry too quick for brush painting? I only thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to go off really fast.
You have to work quick. I can't brush paint to toffee, I can't do it. That's up to anyone that can. Keith, what am I doing? What I've got on these tails, I mean, on this one it's gone. A little bit of a mark. It's because it's moulded as a solid piece. It's got horrendous ejector pins, so I've just filled them with super glue because that I think was the quickest way of getting it done. Now I'm sanding off these ejector pin marks. And it says here, Jim has found 25 Matchbox kits in the garage and he's going to start on the Prowler.
Crikey, that's the way.
He's never done any scribing on raised panel lines, but feels the need.
He feels the need.
Feel the need. To be honest, I'm being a bit lazy. I mean, the panel lines that I've scribed on this have disappeared completely, so you have to do them again. I'm only going to scribe the major panel lines. Because I hate scribing, to be honest. I mean, it's one of those things I could never do. I can kind of do it now, but I hate doing it. Because you always end up slipping and then filling and slipping and filling and it takes forever. But I'm going to have to just spend the next 6 weeks sanding this thing, I think.
Right, I'm just trying to, because Martin, I'm on the Facebook thing now, but I can't see where you've tagged me in the picture. That's the thing. It's not sending me a notification. Let's see if it sends it via email. I don't know why you can't put a photo up, but then I know nothing about technically stuff at all, so that's the thing. Welcome to the site, Roger. He's just subscribed. I've just got a notification.
Rob's just been put on something called firmer, which is that the for that word people have been put on for 3 months.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I'm on a sticky wicket because I've got a job starting on the 20th of April, but if the schools don't open, I've just got to wait until they open to get my new job. I think there's a lot of it, people being put on. Is it furlong? Is that the word?
No, it's the first word I think you said.
Firmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's happening to a lot of people, isn't it? Where they're just sort of stuck in limbo.
Yeah, my brother-in-law. I think they're going to tell him today. Same thing. So
what I've done is I can't do it yet. Well, I can, but I've just not got around to it. You can stop your mortgage for 3 months. And it shouldn't, just check with your mortgage, it shouldn't affect your credit score. I think there's a lot of, the banks are doing quite a lot, because I got an email today from the Halifax saying they're going to do the similar things with any personal loans that you've got or credit cards, just giving everybody 3 months breathing space really. I just have to hope 3 months is all it needs. Get back to work then. Furlough, that's how you pronounce it. There you go.
furlough, is it?
It's just spelt funny, isn't it?
Honestly, I swear, getting you, it's going to be a nightmare tomorrow when the clocks change.
Oh yeah, we lose an hour. What do we get in an hour? Can never remember. Spring forward, isn't it?
Spring forward, yeah. You lose an hour in bed then.
Yeah, well,
That's it.
that means I'll be up at 5 o'clock instead of 6. Yep, Cops go back tomorrow night, don't they?
Yeah.
So on our chat, we've had Neil's asked, have you thought about reselling modelling equipment on behalf of all the small companies that will lose out if they can't sell it, Telford, etc., basically giving them a window to their products?
I've never thought of that idea, to be honest.
No.
I guess they're going to have to come to you, aren't they?
Well, that's it. We do carry very limited stuff for very, very small companies and stuff like that. So, you know, Molly, no. Yeah, so, but again, that's a businessy side of it. Yeah. They're things we need to sit down and think about.
Just hoping it. I mean, I do feel sorry for those small traders that only trade at shows, because their business is just on ice, isn't it?
Yeah. Paul G says, Phil, I'm a member. Can you live chat while watching your show on the site? Can't see it, but only been a week. Yeah, you can. Just window your thing. In fact, if you pop over to... If you go over here, hold on, let me turn that off. Oh, God, I've got so many things on the go here at once. I'm amazed it's working, to be honest. Where are we? So if we go to forum hints and bits and pieces in here, and then if you go to helpful videos, okay, this is the one where if you're a new guy joining, honestly, have a look around it. It explains it far better than I can do in 2 seconds. So the first one is how the site works. The second one is how the forum works. Third one is how the live stuff works. So we have it, or I have it like this normally. I haven't at the moment because I've got YouTube on, but that's roughly how I do it. So on one side I have the you know, the actual chat, so you can see the chat going along, and on the other side then I have the actual, you know, the footage, so you can watch along and join in with it all there. So what you can actually do is just snap the 2 windows, if you like. You know, so you've got 2 open windows. If you drag one to the far left, it will snap and it'll put it there, and it'll put the other one on the other side. So you can just do 2 together at once, or you can just window them and then put one below the other, whichever works for you. As I say, it's a little bit trickier these days because we've got YouTube on the go. I used to have it on the screen at the same time as well, so you would be able to read it on the screen at the same time, but because we're doing multiple things with multiple screens and that, I've run out of real estate. So that's the thing with that one at the moment. Yes, apparently you can ask your bank or lender to add the payment to the back end of your loan or mortgage.
Yeah.
Joker Ninja 66 Clan Jesters, good name. Love you guys from Holland. Ninja Jedi Master. There you go. That one gets my vote for this today, for the best name. Right, I have painted, just to bring you up to speed on what I've been doing. Where are we? Closey. I've just basically put the black on, because the canopy's black on the inside when you're looking inside out, so I put it on, and then so obviously it can have silver, but also it gives you a chance to have a look at the seams around it, so you can decide if you're going to come in with filler, and there is the odd little spot down in here. So those are going to have to be dealt with a smidge of filler just around the outside. Okay, so we'll take care of that. And then down here, what I did was I physically snapped the wing just to make it so it's now pointing in the same direction as the rest of it. So that was the whole point. So what I've done is I put a bead of super glue in there, held it in place, and then kicker. So I just need to do a tiny little bit of filler work and repair job just down in there. The rest of it, seam line across the back, it hasn't got one, so I'm very happy. Under here as well, we are perfect on that side, but there's a little bit of movement in there. You'll see it when I sand it in a minute. But also the tail area is seam free, so we're very happy with that. And also that's why, just because I've got the black paint left over, I just spray it round on seams and joins, just so I get a feel for it. It's got nothing to do with priming or black basing or anything else like that. It's just that I happen to have some there. So when you come in with your sander, use an old warm one. You don't want anything that's really doing too much, and then just very lightly have a sand around And what you're looking for is actually white bits or anything, but because there's nothing there, it's sanding perfectly. Okay, but what you're looking for is errors, mistakes, joins, seams, things like that. So by doing it now, as we said, to be honest, I've covered this quite extensively on the latest video build on the MIG. So when I've been going around on the MIG showing it, it's just so you can come down here and see if there's any faults, and also for rescribing work and stuff like that. So what you can do is you can just come along here and we'll have a rub just to see what's going on, and then we can see how it is. And you've got a little bit of a step down in here, so we'll deal with that, and then we'll check on this side. You can see we haven't really got anything there. So we've got a little bit as it's coming down the top, but underneath here it's not too bad at all. So very happy with how it is. This canopy, obviously it's going to have a slight step on it, but some of it has, some of it hasn't. Obviously it's this first bit is retractable, then the rear part is. So, but the rest of it actually I don't think it's too bad at all. So I'm quite happy of how it's all going at the moment. But again, I don't want to push too heavy in case we get on. But what we probably end up doing in a minute is just popping a little bit of Mr. Surfacer just down in there on a brush. And I've got some 500 that I've just mixed a little bit of black paint in with, just so I can see where it's going. Okay, so it's ended up grey. And then what we can do, we can take our little bit of surfacer like this and we can prop it into the little holes, and it's thin, and then we'll just let this all sink in, smooth in, and making sure we've got no bubbles in it, so get rid of the bubbles, and it will self-level.
So you're not using dissolvable putty?
Eh?
You're not going to use some dissolvable putty?
No, because this is structural, because if you bend it, it'll crack. So I don't use dissolvable putties in cracked areas. So you just, there's a tiny seam down in here, so we're just going to backfill it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll come along with some lacquer thinners on a cotton bud and just smooth it out once it's all gone.
And I just point out, I think Nathan, you need a new sanding stick, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who sells them, but that one looked, you know, worse for wear.
I think I've rubbed the logo off.
You rub more the logo off.
Yeah, it's got no grit on it.
Shall I get a new one?
Yeah, I think that one has had its day.
Time to bury it. Give it a Viking funeral.
Yes, we'll set fire to it.
Or just put it in the bin.
Oh. That just goes to show you can get some proper mileage out of Flory sanders.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you can. Yeah, they're all pretty indestructible.
Bully dear.
So that's done a few kits, hasn't it? That one you've got there.
I think I've had it since.
Since join.
Yeah, that's it.
The thing is, even though that is that worn, it will still work.
Yeah. It does, it does. It put in some sterling service.
It has, yeah.
Here we go. God, it's proper Yorkshireman, this.
He's having to break out the next one.
Oh, coming out in sweats now, the thought of using a new sander.
I think we need a bit of a fanfare.
I'm going to get repetitive strain injury sanding this thing there. But this is the kit that I'm probably going to enjoy at the most at the end of the year, because this is the one that's...
Yeah, it's the one you'll look back on with fondness.
Yeah.
The one you beat into submission.
Let's be honest, I don't think anybody's going to forget sort of this period of 2020, are they? It's like when we get to the end of the year and what have you built this year? And authors are like, I can't remember. I think we might do this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be. You'll look back, I remember why I built that kit.
Yeah.
All being well, this will be on the Tornado SIG stand, because they do this thing where they take a Tornado and then you build an aircraft from the same squadron I have to make sure I build a Tornado Squadron one if I can.
I must admit, I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about how weirdly the Canberra, as in Jet Canberra, replaced the Lancaster bomber.
Really?
Yeah, that was the replacement for the Lancaster. And it was like, it just seems so different types of aircraft, a Lancaster to a Canberra. But apparently that's what it was. The Canberra was brought into service replacing the Lancaster. But it was a bit delayed because it was underpowered and stuff like that. And they were talking about, obviously they had stopgap aircraft brought in and various things. So, yes.
It's a generational leap, that, isn't it?
It is quite, from a big, like, 4-engine prop, to jet twin crew.
Let's see, what's the crew of a Canberra? Is it 2 or?
2, wasn't it? Was it a Bombardier Navigator down below?
I
think so.
I'm thinking of the one where it's the side beside one, not the PR version where there was one up top and bottom.
Well, wasn't the early one like one behind the other? It was like the American one, the B-57.
They did it. That's what they did, didn't they? They changed the cockpit layout.
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
Because they went tandem, wasn't it?
Yeah. But didn't the fella have to be a navigator then crawl through into the clear nose to drop the bombs?
I think so, yeah.
You built
yes, that's right, we did. We had B-29s for a few years. It was on a Lend-Lease thing, wasn't it, from the Americans?
Yeah.
After the war. Then they went back.
Is that the one we called them Washingtons?
That's it, yeah. Yeah, it was.
I guess the Americans had a few spare after the war, didn't they? So.
Shameless plug for Mark Felton Productions YouTube. Who's he?
He does all this, like, historical stuff.
What, modelling?
No. Documentary type things, I think.
Oh, right.
Well, I've seen a few of his videos. They're good.
Well, wasn't the Lincoln, the Avon Lincoln, the civilian version?
Of what?
The Lancaster, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think the Lincoln was the civilian version of it.
Haven't they got a Lincoln
Transport.
at Cosford?
No, they've got a Lincoln at... Yes, they have at Cosford, yeah, in the same hall where we were. That's the Lincoln in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a transport one.
Not sure, to be honest.
Ollie, you're going to have to wait.
Wait, someone to pop up.
Oh, don't you hit me. We're not having a punch-up about this. You've got 20 minutes. Being abused by the dog. Dogs.
Oh yeah, you've been
The
abused.
Shackleton was derived from the Lincoln. The Avro York
Oi.
the transporter. And the Lincoln was just an upgraded Lancaster for use against Japan. Still a bomber.
Oh.
The civilian version was the Lancastrian.
Ah, there you go.
YouTube in our chat, we've cracked it.
Yes. YouTube's on it.
And David Pierce has said to Phil, Matt, me, the Flory team and the community wants to thank us all for the hard work and time everyone puts into making this the best modelling website in the world, and for the encouragement. Today he's gone out of his comfort zone and he's done some pre-shading.
There you go.
Hey, well done.
Well,
Graham
that's
summed it up nicely. We've got Manchester to Lancaster to Lincoln to Shackleton.
That's it.
Yeah, the Avro Manchester. That was the one with 2 engines that was rubbish.
Woefully underpowered, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'll tell you what, don't know if it make a difference when you put a wash on something, doesn't it?
Makes all the details pop.
It does even on that. I don't know if you can see on my camera, but yeah, just around the running gear and suspension arms, it just makes it pop.
Well, there you go. I'm going to have a look at tonight at Mr. Mark Felton.
He does like history stuff.
Ah,
You
right.
do.
Yeah, it's like little short documentaries.
It's 20 to 5 already.
I know.
It's this afternoon gone.
It's just shot by. When you're in the zone, it goes really quick, doesn't it?
I'll tell you what, last night surprised me when we said it was 9:30. Considering we usually finish at 9,
Yeah.
I was like, really, is it? That really shot by. But then, to be honest, all of these have.
Yeah.
And I've even built a model, which is unheard of, because normally we do these things. Everybody goes off on models, and that's why it took me a year to do a hunter.
We are trying to help you.
No, you are. You're doing a grand job, chaps.
Grandpa Joe Projects has got a good question on YouTube. He's recently inherited some aircraft model kits that he built for his dad. They're very dusty. Any advice on cleaning them up?
Ooh, I did a video on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compressed air.
Yeah, compressed air is your friend as long as you ain't got to blow any bits off. Okay. And then literally you can, well, there's two ways of doing it. I used to do commission work for ships, weirdly, because things don't build them now. But they used to, part of my service as I used to do commissions was they would come back every 2 years for cleaning. So an aircraft, it's a doddle because they usually just have a dust and you're done. But ships, because of rigging and railings and tight things, are a nightmare to get in amongst. So what I highly recommend is an anti-static brush. Okay, so they're really light and fluffy. And I have got my Old Faithful, which is in the cupboard over there, which I've had from it, and it's horrendous. It's like 20 odd years old now. But one of these anti-static brushes got very, very loose, very fluffy, but it doesn't drop fibres, and it'll grip hold of the dust, and you can literally go around and do it. If it's proper old and ground in, unfortunately, you're going to have to wash it. Okay, so what I used to do for that case used to come along, again, you want quite a nice soft brush, okay, and then it's just warm water, a smidging, and I mean a smidging of like washing up liquid, dishwasher soap, okay, but it is very, very little amount. That just breaks the surface tension, otherwise it just sits as beads on the top of your plastic, okay, and then in a spritz bottle, put it into a spritz bottle, spritz it onto the model, and literally you come along with your brush and you wash it. And then literally, again, spritz bottle with clean water and just rinse it off, okay? Then you come in with your airbrush in air mode only, and then you can actually take it off. If you can, and you don't mind keep filling up your airbrush, or you have got a 50ml bottle, you can put just a drop of warm water into your, airbrush, okay, and use it like a pressure washer and clean your model that way, okay? But the secret is you not to use any chemicals or anything else like that, because also what happens is decals, when they get old, they notoriously can lift, and then you put water and air, and before you know it, you've just ripped decals clean off because it gets underneath it, and because they go hard and had it, they can literally just go. So one of those things. But I'd say I did do a video years and years ago. I showed it. In fact, chances are I could probably go back and find the photos for next week, and I did a half comparison, because this guy I did some ships for, he's notoriously must live in a dusty house, and he used to bring them back every 2 years, and it looked like it had been sat in the bottom of a car park for a month. They get really dusty, very, very grimy. But if it's a dirt thing, that's different, because it'll get into the texture. But just dust, airbrush it, or literally you can buy cans of air as well. If you've got a compressor, turn it down though, don't go at 75 psi, okay, and then just literally give it a blow, and then anti-static brush, see where that gets you, and then last resort moving forward, warm water, touch of washing up liquid just to break the thing, and just literally wash it off, and then clean water just afterwards, and then air and blow it all off. So it's a bit like going for a car wash. And don't use a Hoover.
Can I just say well done to Krista, because Krista's doing his exercises like I am. Hold on, if it stops flicking, for between 1 and 1.5 hours a day, and he's been on his bike and whatever, and he's I think he's really enjoying it, and he's lost some weight. So well done.
Well done, Krista.
Well
Good
done.
job.
I tell you, I'm still doing mine, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah. Half an hour in the morning, and it sets you up for the day. It's quite good.
Yes, I must admit, I took the dog out on Sunday of about 4 miles, and I feel it on Monday morning. I was a bit getting out of bed. I was like, that's because we haven't been walking the dogs long distances recently because of all this going on. No, I must admit, I did feel it. Question for the Luftwaffe expert. I am building the 148 scale Edard BF 110F. I used RLM02, the 1941 version, of the real paint, for the black cockpit and wheel wells. Am I making an error?
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm thinking rear cockpit of a 110. F.
F, it would be dark grey, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the wheel wells.
There'd be RLMO2.
So I'd be tempted to paint the whole cockpit 66.
Yeah.
Because 41 is when the new rules came out. Yeah, I'd be tempted to do the cockpit again. Or it's in that crossover, so if it's too late, I'd just leave it. And just pretend it came out just before the rules. I mean, it's... But yeah, anything sort of post-Battle of Britain, I'd do the cockpit in the dark grey. That helps. That's usually the cut-off we use, isn't it? The Battle of Britain was the last time RLMO2 appeared in the cockpits.
Yeah.
There you go. But
the so confusing, the whole German thing. You think they would have been their position as well. Just stick to one paint.
Yeah, because internal surfaces were still RLMO2. Yeah. If you opened up radio hatches, you'd still expect to see RLMO2. I have to check, to be honest.
Bryce says the front cockpit was RLM 66. The rear gunner area was 02.
2. Edard instructions called it, because Edard are rarely wrong. It's just this thing like the cockpit was 66, but internal surfaces were 02, and that's why I'm sort of like, I haven't got a 110 book. That might be one to come back to on the next show. Give me a chance to have a read about it and just double check. That's all right, because I'll give me 24 hours to get back to you. This is why I'm hesitating, because I want to be 110% sure. But my gut feeling says cockpit 66. So can we put that on ice and come back to you next time? I'll have a proper look through the books and see what I can find on 110s. We've not. I might have a books lurking somewhere that'll answer it for you. There we go.
What are RLM numbers?
Right, what does it stand for, Nathan?
Reich Luft Ministerium or something to that effect. It's basically the Luftwaffe had a sort of central unit that put out instructions. I never did German in school, but it's just a list of approved colours, and they had a numbering system for the Luftwaffe, and it was basically it's their administration sending out instructions to manufacturers and units saying this part is in colour 66, 67, 68, and it was just like every unit would have a set of colour chips, and they were told this is this, but it was wartime, so the later you got on through the war, the less and less it sort of they stuck to it, but they still have these standard set of colours. It's a bit like their version of the FS standard in America, the RALs in modern Germany.
Well, the BS
Reich Luftfahrtministerium. I can't speak German, so I apologise.
I see Clint's put up a picture, which is quite an interesting one, because I asked this very same question. And what it is, it's that solid rubber groove tyre that you see. If you've seen it, but it's got like a trench in the middle of the tyre. And funny enough, I haven't seen it as a nose wheel before, but I've seen it as a tail wheel on quite a few aircraft. And I was somewhere in a museum once, and I asked it, and there just happened to be a museum, guide behind me, and he explained that it was supposed to make them run straight. It's for caster aircraft that have caster wheels, i.e. have no steering. It's supposed to be that they run straight, they hold their straight, they don't like to go off camber too much. So apparently, and that I've never seen one as a nose wheel, but he did say you get it on nose wheel of aircraft as well. So it's a bit like the Hawk, the T1 Hawk, not the T2s, but the T1 has caster nose wheel steering, as in it doesn't have any. It runs actually off of differential brakes. So a bit like, obviously tail dragger aircraft use differential braking for turning, and it's something to do, and he was explaining it as well, same thing, but it's supposed to keep it going. Anti-shimming it's called, there we go. And it's supposed to run straight, and it doesn't allow it to go off in different things. But I asked, because I thought it was just like a temporary tyre perhaps, because it doesn't look like it should be on a proper aircraft or something else like that. I thought it was for like ground taxi ones and stuff. There you go. Paul's saying he thinks that vampires and venoms have them. But yeah, I must admit, I just thought it was like a temporary tyre for like, just for, you know, being on the ground. It wouldn't actually fly with it, but apparently they did. But I must admit, I was none the wiser to that one until it was explained to me. So I don't know. I assume perhaps the that sea venom, that would be that type of brake. It doesn't actually have nose wheel steering. It's differential steering off the brakes.
Right, here we go. Aircraft interiors, page 244.
There we go.
See if I've got 10 minutes left and I've had enough of sanding.
That's it. The guys are all saying anti-shimmy wheel. It's got to be a British design, isn't it? With a name like that. Kids.
Are they hungry?
Jet Provost had them as well, apparently. So yeah, it was all of that ilk, wasn't it?
I say, are the dogs hungry?
So what was the first aircraft to have nose wheel steering then, I wonder? There you go, there's a question. They went from differential braking, because obviously the Hawks had them. But at some point somebody thought, I know, I've got a better idea of trying to taxi round. Instead of stamping on the brakes all the time, we could just turn. When landing a chipmunk T10 on the runway, the tail wheel would often shimmy as it didn't have the ridge in the tail wheel. What a clever, some bright spark suddenly thought, I know, if we put a groove in it, it will stop it shimmying around.
There you go.
See, that's a clever people. You just taking it in turns. So what, you're taking over for 10 minutes, then she'll come back? Is this how this is working? No. Yes. Look, close. I know we don't normally do it. Just a few more minutes. You'll cope. You'll be alright. You're not wasting away, Lola, clearly. Yes. You'll be fine. Do you want to sit here and replace me? Molly's done it before, sat here.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the book that you're using, Nath?
This one is the Luftwaffe Colours by Michael Ullman. I've also got the Merrick Volume 2. This is the one that a copy of this lives at the shop, doesn't it, Matt?
It does indeed, yeah.
And it's like, hopefully one of them will have the answer. Oh, ground attack. Oh gosh, it's just getting the chapter on aircraft interiors.
That's it, Dennis. I've got them. I'll get barked down in a minute. Really? One's threatening to kill me with a duck. Just wind each other up now.
Yeah.
Nathan, what's the AK World War II True Colours book like?
It's handy. It's good because it covers all the major air forces. I've had a quick flick through it in a model show. It doesn't have the colour chips like these two books have, but it's a good sort of primer, pardon the pun, on like Luftwaffe, Soviet, RAF colours. It's a good sort of introduction. And obviously it's all cross-reference to their paint range, but it's at least going to make sure you're going in the right direction, colours-wise. I'm not going to... I haven't bought it because I've got enough here with the the books I've got. It's just a matter of finding a definitive answer. 110 cockpit colour. Like, give me 24 hours and I'll have something.
Yeah. Ooh, 3 minutes.
Mick says, hi all, been a member for a few years now, retired today, first time I've made a live show. Happy retirement, Mick, keep busy.
Yeah.
Keep busy, that's what my biggest piece of advice for people who retire, keep busy.
Yep.
Definitely. My dad said he got busier when he retired. it's just, can be done.
Waldo Waterman's 1929 tailless, was that a What's It, was one of the first to have a steerable nose wheel. There you go. 1929 with a nose wheel, that would have been something different as well, wouldn't it?
And
They had nose wheels in those days.
That'd be a bit spindly.
Yeah. Because what, I don't know, I might be talking crap here and probably am, but wasn't the Air Cobra originally didn't have nose wheel steering? It was still differential braking on that thing, and it had loads of ground handling problems where people were having trouble with it, because obviously it was one of the first aircraft that had, for a fighter aircraft that had it, but because it was long and gangly as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had loads of incidents with people running off of, you know, taxiways and stuff like that with it. They're getting used to it.
I don't know. I know, like the Invader and the Marauder were troublesome, weren't they? But I think more the Invader, because you couldn't see out because the engine's so far forward, you couldn't sort of see where you were. But yeah.
There you go. He was saying that What's It, and that's what it's called apparently, was a swept-wing tailless aeroplane designed by Waldo Waterman between 1911 and was the first to have the idea in 1932 when the prototype was finally in testing phase. Oh, there you go.
Oh, interesting.
Apparently the B-25 has no linkage between the rudder pedals and the nose wheel, and it uses differential as well.
Right.
So
Interesting stuff.
it is. Minding information.
Yeah.
Right, okie dokie. So if we're basically done, because I'm going to get bitten if I don't feed the dogs. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Do we want to have a whip round, see where we're at then?
Yeah.
Right. Go on then, Matt, you start.
Go on then, just put my overhead back on. And the light. So I've got some decals on, all 6 of them. And as you can see, I've started to give it a wash to bring out the detail. So this is just using teal lung shadow brown.
Very nice.
Obviously finned with a bit of AK odorless, there you go. And I've done like all around the running gear, idler and sprocket. Like I say, it just makes the detail a little pop a bit, just to get a base down for the upcoming weathering and chipping and all the rest of it. So yeah, here's the back bit.
Very nice.
And so yeah, I know it's small, but actually it's looking, I don't know, when you do a wash, it does add another level, I think.
Yes.
To
Small
to
but
anything.
beautifully formed.
Yeah.
That's what your mum said.
So yes, that's where I'm at with this. So yeah, enjoying it, really enjoying it.
Very good. Right, Nave, how's it going? Gone mad yet?
I've sanded that. Filled, you can't see it because white's burning away and colour's going. Sanded that, filled the ejector pins. I've done the same to that, and I've primed it with Humbrol, and that is completely dry now with the rapid thinners. That's Humbrol enamel, dry and ready to go. And that is it. All I've done is sand and fill, and I've got more to do.
So,
We're getting slowly.
That's it. Hold on, I've lost my thing. Where's my thing? Right, okay. So for me, I've got this little guy somewhat done. So a little bit of filler, we'll do a little bit of clean up with that, bit of sanding work, and then I think we'll be into primer. So at least my wings are all facing the right direction now. Not permanently in the drive, but actually very, very good. Seam wise and everything else like that. To say just a little bit of seam checking just to make sure it's nice. And I think, say, next week straight into primer, get some paint onto it, have fun with the decals, see if they work. If not, we're going to have to, I don't know, customise it a bit, shall we say, and go for it. But actually, beautiful little kit. It's going together very, very nicely once we've got that sorted. So yes, doing very, very well, chaps.
Yeah.
Very good indeed. So yes, the guys are asking, are we doing a live show tomorrow or anything? To be honest with you, my partner, she's a nurse and works in ED. So she's had a shit week all week, to be honest with you, and she's off for the weekend. So I better spend some family time with her. So I'm not going to be on over the weekend, but we will be on Monday, I do believe. We all up for Monday?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah, Monday would be good.
So if we do Monday afternoon then, it'll either be 2 or 3 o'clock to be decided upon to see when everyone's available and ready. And we'll do this again, and then again next week we'll then be back at it again. So we'll do live stuff. We'll try and mix up the times, you know, so obviously everyone gets a bit of a shout at this as well. So some of them, you know, we can even do a morning one if you wanted to or something, you know, if guys are around. We could do a morning, afternoon or an evening right the way through the week, and we'll carry on with our builds. And probably I might start a next one as well. I might do one of the Matchbox ones next. And then obviously I'll be cracking on with this, as we know, going through the motions of this one. Once this clear coat's dried off on this, which is pretty really, it'll get a wash, and then we'll start going through the weathering stages, and then we'll get it mounted up onto the old acrylic, wrong camera, onto the old acrylic and everything else like that. So we'll be making our way with that one as we go through on there. Then I'll be starting on my next project, which will be the Discovery, God help me.
You'll enjoy that.
It's going to be big. Biggest model I've made for a while. It's about 3 foot long.
Yes.
So yes, very good. But thank you very much. I must say that thanks to you guys, when it's said and done, when this pandemic is over, I may have to have a stash to speak of anymore. That's the thing. We'll be building this out and running out of kit soon. You guys are awesome. Can't thank Flory Models enough. It's our pleasure as always. But again, it's not just me. I'd like to thank everybody in the Flory Models family as well, who are allowing us to put this out to the world and everything else like that. You guys are fantastic as well. So big thank you to you guys. So I want you to keep safe and everything. So as always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work. Woof woof, they will do in a minute. She's going mad here. We're going to leave you with your great work from the gallery for this week. So guys, we've got to be quiet for about 2 minutes.
So you can go off and feed the dogs.
So go off, feed the dogs so they can see the ending video. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Happy morning,
Thank
take
you.
care. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted.